Good afternoon. I am Chapter President Carly Izzard. I would like to welcome you all to the 2020 Spencer High School National Honor Society Induction Ceremony. We would like to welcome you today, those of you watching from home, and thank SMU for streaming our induction ceremony today. New inductees, I congratulate you on being selected for induction into our society. You are now a part of an elite group of individuals dedicated to the honor and service of their school and community. Be prepared to take on several new challenges in the year to come. Current members, as we welcome a new group of inductees, it is our duty to show the leadership necessary to help them know the responsibilities and expectations of being a part of our esteemed group. I look forward to a year of new experiences and memories as we band together in the service of others. And now I would like to introduce our chapter advisor, Ms. Richelle Achenbaugh.
Good afternoon. I am the very proud sponsor of the Spencer High School National Honor Society. I too wish to extend my welcome to all of you who are here and to those of you who are watching from home, and thank you for being with us today in spirit as we honor our newest inductees into NHS. Even though this experience is just a little bit different than in years past, we still wanted to give you the full induction ceremony experience, complete with a special guest speaker and candles. It's important because this is one of the highest honors that you can achieve at SHS, and you've earned this, and we are very honored to welcome you into our ranks. First and foremost, this is a service organization, and last year our members initiated and organized a number of service projects benefiting our school and also the greater Spencer community. Plus, we partner with several organizations within the community as well as on many more projects. NHS has grown a lot in the past few years, and what I find so inspiring about these young people, the seniors sitting here today as well as the class before them, is that when they find a need or a cause that they feel strongly about, they now are making their own projects and bringing us all along with them. Even in these unprecedented times, we are still actively looking for ways in which to build connections and to strengthen and support our school family and our community. This tradition of service and giving back to our community is what you new members are being inducted into today. And that is why the parents and family watching this program should be extremely proud of all of these young people in the room. As we continue to look for ways in which we can increase our impact, I am excited to see where this year takes us. In terms of criteria for selection into NHS, the National Honor Society was organized by the National Association of Secondary School Principals in 1921. The purpose was, and is today, to recognize and foster academic achievement while encouraging the development of other characteristics essential to good citizenship. These included scholarship, character, leadership, and service as ideals that remain as relevant today as they were in 1921. The Spencer High School chapter of the National Honor Society has been in existence since 1955. Students become eligible for NHS selection by accumulating a 3.25 grade point average through the end of the first semester of their junior year. Students are then rated by the faculty on the basis of their service, leadership, and character, and a faculty committee reviews these ratings and then finalizes the selections. Now to introduce our speaker today, Molly Crew.
Our speaker today will be Michael Schauer. Michael is currently serving as the Director of Human Resources at Spencer Hospital, where he has worked for 20 years. Prior to working in human resources, he was a middle school teacher. He has served on various community boards and service groups, such as the United Way, YMCA, a Sunday school teacher, and on the Church Board of Elders, and is currently on the Spencer Fine Arts Boosters. Now, please welcome Michael Schauer.
I'm glad I got to take this mask off. That'll make this easier for sure. Thank you, Molly, for the nice introduction and the invitation to come and share some thoughts with you today. I'm truly honored to be able to be part of this ceremony here today. Of course, first of all, I want to congratulate the new inductees as well as the current members. Congratulations on your many fine accomplishments that have led you to where you are today, and especially to be selected for the National Honor Society. Again, I think these attributes that you have shown so far are going to serve you well in your futures. Also, for the parents out there, I want to say congratulations to you as well, too. As you know, parenting is not always easy. It has its stresses, but it has its joys. And today certainly is a day where we are filled with joy as we're proud of our kids. So this afternoon, I want to talk a little bit about something called servant leadership. Now, I recognize there's many different types of leadership that are required in different type of settings, but I believe servant leadership can be used in any style of leadership. A servant leader considers the needs of others, acknowledges other people's perspectives, provides support, builds a sense of community as you serve your team. Now, servant leadership is sometimes challenging. Our human nature wants to make us make things about ourselves. One of the things that makes me cringe is when I hear a leader say, they work for me or they work under me. I look at it as a servant leader, I work for you. It is my role to support you, to provide you knowledge and to provide you guidance when needed. And together we can put all of our strengths together for a great outcome. That's what servant leadership is to me. So I'm going to go over a couple attributes here, or characteristics of servant leadership this afternoon. The first one is self-awareness. I don't really believe you can be a servant leader without having a good amount of self-awareness. Self-awareness, of course, is understanding our strengths, our weaknesses, and our values. So I've been in HR about 20 years, and it's surprising how many times when working with an employee that's maybe having some issues, they'll say, I had no idea I was behaving this way, or I had no idea that people were perceiving me this way. It's going to be awfully hard to make a change or a correction if you don't even know you're doing it, and that's why self-awareness is important. Of course, you also have to be willing to make the change as well, too, and that's an important aspect. To help increase self-awareness, a couple things you can do. One is take some time for reflection. I'm not a good journaler myself. I know some of you probably are, but do some self-reflection on your accomplishments as well as your failures. When things don't go right, we can learn from those, and we jot those things down, and then we can go back and reflect on those. And when things do go well, we celebrate, and then we also still kind of jot those down and reflect on those so that we can use that for future. Another thing that people can do to increase self-awareness is ask for feedback. It's often thought of as a leader, my role is to provide feedback to others. A servant leader asks for feedback. If I'm going to get better, I need to know from my team what I can do better. What can I do more for you? Or what am I doing that's getting in your way? Or what kind of guidance can I provide? So that's a couple of things that I think will help increase your self-awareness. The next aspect of servant leadership I'm going to talk about my favorite animated movie, and that's the Shrek series. I just love the Shrek movies, especially in Shrek 3, where Shrek is trying to convince Artie to be king. And when he's thinking about a strategy, he says, I'm going to use reason and I'm going to use persuasion to help Artie be king. Well, obviously this would be opposite of what a servant leader would do when they're trying to persuade people. A servant leader is not going to use ultimatums or threats. A servant leader is going to persuade people by helping them see the value of the outcome you're seeking. You want to become a content expert. You want to know what you're talking about, but at the same time, be also open to listening to other people's feedback as well, too. And then the hard part about it is you build consensus around all the different ideas. But it's not just about you, it's about others as well, too. The next part of servant leadership I'm going to talk about is called stewardship. This is the ability to take responsibility for your actions of yourself as well as your team. And of course, this is easy when things go well. I really do feel we've got a great HR department. We've had some great things that come out of it. And how fun is it to say, hey, look what we got done and look what we did and so on. But how about when things go wrong? That's a little bit more difficult. What sometimes our tendency will be is to blame a certain individual or blame others. A servant leader takes accountability for the whole team and then looks for ways that we can make things better. It's funny, I was thinking about this last week, and I had an example of not doing this right. So at the hospital, of course, we have our own employees, but sometimes we hire like a traveler, and we use a recruitment company to do that. So we've got this traveler, we have this company in the middle that's helping manage it all. And what happened was, somebody in the middle company kind of reprimanded the recruiter I was working with. This is all through email. And the recruiter replied back, gee, I'm sorry, period. But Michael talked to me first about it, so I thought it would be okay, which wasn't actually true. But is that taking accountability? Anytime you say, I'm sorry, but, that's probably not taking true accountability. You're trying to find some fault with somebody else. So that kind of brings up another thing a leader needs to think about at times is what do you do with that kind of stuff? You know, our tendency there too would be one to fire back, so we don't want to be wrong. You know, we want to be right. So in this case here, what I did is I let it go. You know, because there's times that you do need to stand up for your team and yourself. But the thing you want to think about, by doing that, am I serving myself or am I serving the good of the whole team and the organization? And in this case, you know, I didn't know this person. We've been emailing back and forth a while. It just wasn't worth it. I want that person to be focusing on finding us a nurse, not going back and forth with me about who's right or who's wrong. So that's one of the things you have to do as a leader is know when to let things go or when to kind of dig in a little bit maybe. So for the final two things I'm going to talk about here, I'm going to relate it to my favorite sports story. And this is going to date me or age me a little bit. We're going to go back to 1983. And some of the parents out there might remember this if you watch basketball. We're going to talk about the North Carolina State Wolfpack 1983 National Championship men's basketball team, who was coached by Jimmy Valvano. To set the stage, this team was okay, but at the end of the season, they were fourth in their conference, they were unranked, and during their season, they had a stretch of 6 out of 8 games that they lost by 18 points, and 2 of those were to unranked teams. Certainly does not sound like a team that's on its way to the top and win that national championship. But they managed to find a way to do it. They never gave up, and they played against some tough teams in their conference, and as well as the NCAA tournament that featured future NBA greats such as Ralph Sampson and even Michael Jordan. 7 out of the 9 games in the tournaments that they played, in the last minute they were behind. But they found a way to win. The biggest challenge was the championship game. They had to play Team Houston Cougars. They were ranked number 1. Had a couple of future NBA greats, I think Hakeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler. But they managed to win. They were behind, of course, but they did it. So how did they do that? Well, one of the things I want to talk about was something called creating a vision, because that's something that leaders need to do as well, too, is create a vision. So some of you here probably play basketball. I would imagine when you started practice, you started some dribbling skills and brushed off some defensive skills and shooting, that type of thing. Well, when Jimmy started his season, he had his team practice cutting down the nets. Now, for those of you that don't follow basketball, cutting down the net is like that glorious tradition that once you've won the championship game, each player takes a turn climbing up a ladder. They have a scissors, they make 2 cuts on the net, and they get a little piece of string, and then the main net typically goes with the trophy. So what was Jimmy doing by doing this? Why was he having his team practices? You know, climbing a ladder is dangerous, especially with the scissors involved, right? So maybe he was wanting to teach them ladder safety. And I think we all know where this is going. He was trying to create a vision for his team. In essence, he was saying to his team, look what we can accomplish. If we work together, if we believe in each other, and if we never give up, I believe this is what we can accomplish. So to me, this just seemed like a really neat example of creating a vision. The other thing that we can learn too from stories like this is there's different leaders or people out there that we can draw some inspiration from. And I'm going to continue kind of with this scenario here, but I'm going to focus on the coach, Jimmy Valvano. Obviously that was a great moment in his life, but he had some difficulties as well too. He did end up getting fired from North Carolina State because of some players' NCAA violations, and he did end up with terminal cancer. But during those struggles, he never gave up. He kept on fighting. There's 2 really momentous speeches that he gave towards the end there. One was at the ESPN Awards, and in there he talked about many things, but the thing that stuck out for me is he talked about 3 things he says we should do every day. The first one is laugh. You know, in 2020 has been a tough year, I recognize, and even through these struggles, you know, we haven't been able to do the things that we normally get to do. Maybe we've been sick ourselves or lost a family member or had family members sick. But I think what he's trying to tell us is even when we have these struggles, find something positive. Try to find some joy so we can have some laughter. I also think he was talking about being able to laugh at ourselves. I think that's an important aspect too. Then he talked about the second thing you should do every day is take some time to think. Okay, we have busy schedules, I recognize, but take some time to pause and think a little bit in self-reflection, and prayer, and meditation. Let's say meditation. So do that every day. And the third thing he said was have your emotions move you to tears. Those could be tears of sorrow or joy. And I recognize that emotions sometimes can get the best of us and cause us to do something we otherwise wouldn't. But I think what he's trying to tell us here is that we can let those emotions motivate us. So you kind of ended with, if you think about it, if you laugh and you think and you cry, that all in one day, that makes for a really good day. The other speech that I kind of pulled something from was when he was doing a reunion speech for this national championship team. Excuse me. He talked about things that the team had taught him, which to me is another very unique and important leadership lesson. Is we think as a leader, it's our job to teach others, but as a leader, you should always be seeking what can you learn from your team. And that's what he talked about. He said some of the things that team taught me, one was hope. That despite adversity, despite the fact that we're losing all these games, it can get better. Now, hope doesn't mean you sit back and twiddle your thumbs, hoping that something changes. Hope should motivate us to get up and do something so that we can make things better. He talked about dreaming, and of course we already talked about that, creating a vision and helping other people see this vision and buy into it. He talked about loving each other. And when I think about it, that's really what servant leadership is we're believing in each other, we're supporting each other, and we want the best for each other. And lastly, he talked about never giving up. And this was a big part of the speech, I think, as well, too. He was a weak and cancer-stricken person, but he stood up there in front of thousands of people and just told them never give up. He was known to write down like a goal on a note card. And after he passed away, his wife found one that said, "Beat cancer." And I think that even though it cost him his life, I would say that he beat cancer, because he kept inspiring and he didn't let it get the best of him regarding how he lived his life. He kept fighting and kept inspiring people. So again, for me, I just love watching those stories and reading about that, and I let that serve as a motivator for me. And I encourage you to go and find that leadership example that motivates and inspires you, and of course to become a leadership example yourselves that others can look up to you as well too. So again, for this afternoon, I just want to congratulate you on your accomplishments and your selection for National Honor Society. And I want to encourage you to always demonstrate servant leadership during your leadership journeys, where you support, encourage, motivate, and most importantly, serve others. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Schauer, for sharing your words with us today. For the past few years, each new group of NHS officers and current members have been meeting to compile our goals for the future of the society. We have been working on creating a framework for our organization that includes our commitment to the ideals of volunteerism and service within our own community. As a part of this framework, we also adopted the poem If by Rudyard Kipling as sort of a mission statement for the ideals we as the National Honor Society members would like to live by to achieve the goals we have set here and in our own lives. Reading the selection today is Zoe Carlson.
If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch at things you gave your life to, broken and stoop to build them up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it all at one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it.
The membership of the Spencer High School chapter of the National Honor Society has been earned by the effective demonstration of the 4 qualities held in high esteem by the society. The significance of the lighted candle symbolizes knowledge. 4 of our members will review the qualities for the candidates. Scholarship.
Scholarship means a commitment to learning. A student is willing to spend hours in reading and study, knowing the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. We should continue to learn even when the formal education has ended, for education only ends in life. Knowledge is one great element in life which leads to the highest success, and it can be acquired in only one way, through diligence and effort. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past, and the light which illuminates the future. Candidates have to charge to continually expand their world through the opportunities inherent in scholarship. Leadership.
Leadership should exert a wholesome influence on the school. In taking the initiative in class and school activities, the real leaders strive to train and aid others to attain the same objective. The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interest for the interest of others. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in a country, they are ineffectual without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed. Thus, to lead is a substantive charge to each of our members and to the candidates.
Service.
Service can be described in various ways. In the routine of the day's work, many opportunities arise to help others. Willingness to work for the benefits of those in need without monetary compensation or without recognition is the quality we seek in our membership. We are committed to the idea of volunteering our time and abilities to the creation of a better tomorrow.
Character.
Character is the force within each individual which distinguishes that person from others. It gives each one individuality. It is that without which no one can respect oneself, nor help to obtain the respect of others. It is this force of character which guides one through life, and when it once developed, grows steadily. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of constant action, daily striving to make the right choice. The problem of character is the problem of self-control. We must be in reality which we wish to appear to be by others. By demonstrating such qualities as reliability, honesty, sincerity, we may hope to prove by example that we value character.
The candidates and current members will rise for the National Honor Society Pledge.
Please join me as we recite the pledge together. I pledge myself to uphold the higher power purposes of the National Honor Society, to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands, and I will maintain and encourage high standards of scholarship, service, leadership, and character.
It is now time for the candidates to come forward. For families and friends watching at home, the new inductees will be removing their masks as they prepare to walk across the stage. They will get their certificate, and then they will pause at the designated spot for an individual picture. When they reach the other side of the stage, they will be putting their masks back on as they make their way back to their seat. Starting with the initiates of the class of 2021, Jagger Halverson, son of Crystal Halverson and Jason and Tiffany Halverson. Lakota Newman, daughter of Ken and Sam Newman. McKenna Richter, daughter of Heath and Connie Richter. Chloe Van Sickle, daughter of Dana Olson. Now the class of 2022 initiates. Faith Beal, daughter of Sophie Frank and Thomas Beal. Kaylee Behrens, daughter of John and Nikki Behrens. Eden Blau, daughter of Ryan and Amy Blau. Carly Borth, daughter of Charles and Liz Borth. Sydney Brosnahan, daughter of Mary and Jamie Brosnahan. Victoria Bussell, daughter of Jeremy and Amy Bussell. Sean Connor, son of Patrick and Christy Connor. Devin Dirks, son of Brian and Michelle Dirks. Emily Ewell, daughter of Nate and Angie Ewell. Brenda Fisher, daughter of Brian and Christy Fisher. Caitlin Freeman, daughter of Sarah and Jordan Whipple. Odalis Garcia, daughter of Juan and Trina Garcia. Hannah G, daughter of Dana and Trisha G. Sierra Goyette, daughter of Matt and Allison Goyette. Aaliyah Hoven, daughter of Shane and Terrell Hoven. Audrey Hansen, daughter of Norma Hansen. Braden Hyder, son of Mike and Gina Hyder. Lucy Heumann, daughter of Terry and Tessa Heumann. Davis Hogue, son of Chris and Karen Hogue. Brianna Holt, daughter of Laura Holt and Jason Holt. Hannah Honka, daughter of Barb and David Honka. Abigail Horst, daughter of Jim and Lisa Horst. Andrew Huff, son of Jason and Josie Huff. Eliza Huntoon, daughter of Don and Dino Huntoon. Kaylee Udema, daughter of Mike and Janet Udema. Evan Johnson, son of Ryan and Ann Johnson. Jalen Johnson, daughter of April and Alex Socorro. Michael Jordan, son of Eric Jordan and Megan Phelan and Whitney Peterson and Rob Runkle. Grace Katzer, daughter of Shelley and Mike Schoening. Grace Klatt, daughter of Jenny Klatt and Denny Klatt. Chase Cooker, son of Todd and Shannon Cooker. Cami Kruko, daughter of Rob and Jamie Kruko. Matea Lowe, daughter of Matt and Kelly Lowe. Jack Meyer, son of Lauren and Katie Meyer. Madeline Maroney, daughter of Amanda and Paul Maroney. Brooke Mosier, daughter of Chad and Kim Mosier. Sadie Nelson, daughter of Kent and Marcy Nelson. Maggie Norgard, daughter of Ben and Becky Norgard. Allison Piercy, daughter of Darren and Christy Piercy. Connor Rezebeck, daughter of Jeff and Nancy Rezebeck. Jackson Richter, son of Heath and Connie Richter. Kayla Robinson, daughter of Dave and Stacy Robinson. Jacelyn Rustad, daughter of Jesse and Serena Rustad. Megan Shower, daughter of Michael and Angie Shower. Evan Schmidt, son of Kurt and Anna Schmidt. Kinsey Schrader, son of Brian and Brianna Schrader. Jackson Schultz, son of Eric and Sally Schultz. Sydney Schwartz, daughter of Doug and Courtney Schwartz. James Slattery, son of Patrick and Ann Slattery. JC Statler, daughter of Nicole and Heath Statler. Charlie Steele, son of Joe and Nicole Steele. Erin Stroman, daughter of Chad and Katie Stroman. Bailey Swanson, daughter of Nancy Hoffman and Brian Swanson. Ellie Thiessen, daughter of Clara Grayson and Jeremy Thiessen. Vanessa Unger, daughter of Christine and Troy Woods and the late David Unger. Taylor Vanderall, daughter of Bill and Cheryl Vanderall. Ashley Bremen, daughter of Mark and Rhonda Bremen. Caitlin Weeks, daughter of Kurt and Kim Weeks. Caitlin Wilfong, daughter of Christine, Carrie, and Geoff Wilfong. Kaden Woodall, daughter of Bo and Jackie Woodall. Ashley Yeager, daughter of Jesse and Jenny Yeager. And Annika Zitrich, daughter of Dane and Leah Zitrich. This concludes our ceremony today. Congratulations to our new inductees. We are very excited for what this year has in store for the National Honor Society. Please give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you.